Hello, hello, hello. I recently received an email from someone because I have this page where people can ask me their number one question about fitness or health or confidence, etc. Just their number one question that they have. And I always respond back to them. So this person asked me a question, and it's like the funniest thing to me because it's just something that's like an old phrase that everybody uses all the time to take a somewhat not so complex explanation and make it seem very simple. So we hear it all the time, muscle weighs more than fat. But that is not the case because literally it reminds me of that old phrase or that old adage question or whatever that people would go, if I have a ton of feathers and a ton of bricks, which one weighs more? And our mind is like, bricks! But in reality we're like, wait, they're both a ton. And it works the same way. The only difference, here's the thing, it's not a matter of muscle weighing more than fat. It's a matter of how, basically you can look at it like surface area, right? So like a muscle maybe takes up this much space in your body, where fat will take up this much space in your body. So maybe you have 5 pounds of fat taking up like this much. This is not accurate measurements, okay? This is just for example purposes. So maybe you have 5 pounds of fat taking up this much space, but you have 5 pounds of muscle taking up this much space. So the basics of it is that muscle just takes up less space in the body. So when you're basically addressing your fitness journey and you're gaining, hey Ravi, and you're gaining muscle, well, then of course, what can happen is even though you are getting smaller, you could be going up in the scales because the more muscle you have, then the more you could potentially be putting weight on the scale because you can fill more areas of your body with it. So the point is not that muscle weighs more than fat, it's that muscle takes up less space than fat. So if you have 5 pounds of fat that looks like this, 5 pounds of muscle looks like this, of course, as you start losing fat and there's more space for muscle or you start gaining muscle, imagine if you have like 100 pounds of muscle versus 100 pounds of fat, it's a very different look. And it's a very different feel. So I loved that this person sent me this question because I wanted to crack up because it's it's not asked all the time, it's said all the time, but no one ever addresses the fact that no, it's not true. It's just not true. The only truth behind it would be, once you're stepping on that scale, then you could potentially weigh more than when you had more fat, just because muscle can take up space it's this big, but it can take up more space in the body because when you have like 5 pounds of fat that's taking up maybe that's all this space, but you have 5 pounds of muscle and it's only taking up this much space. Very different story. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys out. It's just one of those funny things that the fitness industry says, and I mean, we've all said it, but it's just to put it's basically to put all of that into a simple phrase. So I love it. If you want the link to ask me your number one fitness question, I'm going to put it below. I normally only give it to people who download something for free from my site, but I'll put it down here so you guys can send something through. Let me know what you guys thought about this because I think it's hilarious. I'm kind of giggling this whole video, but it's just the truth. And I hope that answers some of your questions and kind of puts it in perspective for you guys. And if you have anything else you're wondering after watching this, send it on through, alright? So I will chat with you guys all later. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And you know what? Have a great day, night, morning, wherever you are in the world. Just make it awesome.